So recently I'm sure that most people have seen the videos coming from Oasis's first few gigs. As if you hadn't heard, yes, recently they have reunited, proving finally that no, this isn't a fever dream, and to forget what you've heard about any issues or rumours, the Oasis reunion is real, and it's happening on the big stage. Yeah, it's with something that's been built up for over a decade now. It's interesting to take a look at the expectation many people had for this reunion, compared with the reality of Noel and Liam Gallagher once again sharing the stage. Now, first let's get some things out of the way. For me, and from the extensive amount of footage I've seen thanks to everyone filming every gig that ever existed nowadays, it's fair to say Oasis are back and sound absolutely huge, with every instrument and even Liam's vocals sounding pretty consistent and solid throughout, with a sound that truly blew me away the first time I heard it. And well, even though we've heard Noel and Liam perform at huge gigs since Oasis splitting up, especially Liam with events like Nebworth, it still somehow came as a shock to me that maybe there is an extra bit of spice added to the whole band being back and smashing it under the headlights as Oasis, that really does make all of the tunes that in fair we've still heard live over years come back with a real punch and tightness that makes it seem like the glory days are truly back, people. And playing into this idea of expectation versus reality, I was kind of honestly a bit worried that it would simply sound like Liam Gallagher's regular gigs, as he does a huge mix of Oasis and solo work, usually at his own venues, and has always been the main voice of Oasis. Yet somehow he sounds different. Maybe it's part excitement, part rest, maybe he's on his best behaviour, or maybe it's his lovely new bank balance soothing everything, making him really sound the best he's sounded in years. And well, Noel's vocals and playing seems to be on point too. Yet for me, he's always sounded great, especially with High Flying Birds, so I probably wouldn't expect anything less. Yet the issues or maybe points of interest start to arise when you look at the interaction between the band, especially Liam and Noel, coming out hand in hand or well hand over wrist, claiming this is their glorious return, and then following that, not really interacting with the crowd or each other, standing extremely far apart and then also leaving immediately after the gig. But sparsely, these are just headlines that can be grabbed at easily. I mean, they made a point of then coming out the second gig, literally hand in hand to quickly shut down all that it was some secret message from Noel and that he was actually miserable at the reunion. And what did people expect? Some huge camaraderie and a blast back to the 90s? Well, in reality, based on a lot of the footage we have available at the click of a finger for Oasis's history now, them standing far apart and not being too lively on stage kind of has always been their thing, and their approach to how they perform, with Liam in recent years noting that he prefers to just stand there and blast out vocals and not jump around the stage like an idiot. His words, not mine. And given we have zero interviews to go off of, any interaction or secret message between the two brothers really is speculation, with Noel actually stating it was Bonehead that was the final glue to bring them back together anyway. We really don't know how Liam and Noel are interacting really with one another, and hey, maybe they're on really good terms and great chums once again. Or maybe it's let's just get through the gigs and then sit on our huge nice new golden toilets. But the main point is, why would it be any different this time around on stage after the long-standing face-off and also the fact they're older? And from what I can tell, they are interacting with the crowd, but every stadium gig I've ever been to has always been limited by the sheer number of people there, in the way it makes the artist just become harder to interact with the crowd and so many people, unless you're a true iconic legend like Freddie Mercury, for example. And speaking of the crowd, I think the biggest expectation that was met by a true reality, the vibe has been unmatched despite a shower of negativity surrounding ticket prices and general cautiousness towards the gigs if they would even go ahead. Everyone is up for it, both old fans and new alike, and everyone seems united in blasting out every song, kind of still proving that 30 years on, Oasis sound fantastic, both in studio and live, to a whole lot of people. It's interesting to see how diverse the opinions of fans regarding a potential reunion, the lasting impact of Oasis's music and its influence on modern artists, and the Gallagher brothers' rivalry and its impact on the band have all led to this insanely huge 2025 tour. And seeing it in action finally after so much really does just simply make me and a lot of other people very happy. Maybe expectations were set too high in the idea that Liam and Noel would come bouncing onto the stage just as excited as us fans are. Yet the reality shows that they can still come back together after so much time. Mend broken relationships, whether that be for time's sake that it needs to be done, or incentives like money to get the ball rolling, just proving that things don't always remain a lost cause. Oasis are back in 2025 and well, sounding bigger than ever. But be sure to let me know what you think. Are you happy Oasis are back, or still holding out some caution along here and there? And how long do you think Liam's voice will hold out? Will he sound this good the entire time? Yet as always, take care out there, and I'll see you on the next one. Ta-ra for now.
As always, if you're new here, feel free to like and subscribe. And on that note, I think I'll say ta-ra for now, and I'll see you later.